Hi everyone, I've just popped on today really quickly to show you this. I was decorating the first part of the first Timmy Flippy Floppy and I wanted some of these to go in it. And I am sick to death of buying the Tim Holtz ones. I don't know how many packets of those I've bought, loads, and I use them a lot. So I decided to see if I could come up with one myself. So here it is. So I'm just going to show you how I made it. After that, there are so many permutations depending on what stamps you've got, etc, etc. This is the paper I'm using today. It's from Hobbycraft. A4 Premium Smooth Card, Ivory, 295 GSM, so it's quite thick. And the reason I've chosen to open this pack today is because this is 180 and it's really not thick enough. You could back it, of course you could, but it would be easier to do it all in one go, really. So let's get some of that out. Try and leave that in there so I've got some clue as to what it is when I come back. I've got all my stamps out, all my creative expressions stuff. Loads. I don't need a quarter of them, but you know, it's nice to have them. So I need to cut it up first, and I think this one I cut at, and I quite like that size, whatever size that is. It's 5 by just a touch over 2 1/4. 5. So I've got so much stuff on my desk. Every time I decorate a journal I need loads of stuff around me and it gets a bit oppressive after a while. So I'm going to cut that at 5. You could of course make them bigger, make them smaller. There's all sorts of things you could do. By a little over, what did I say? A little over 2 1/4. So there's 2, 2 1/4, a little over. Okay. So that looks little. Are you sure that's right? Yeah, I'm sure that's right. And then we just need to cut the tops off, the little ears, which is over here. And I'm just going to use really small corners, I think. Are they too small? Maybe a little bit too small. Maybe the next size up. I mean, these are all fairly arbitrary measurements, to be honest with you. Just doing what I feel like doing. I just thought you might be interested, because if you use lots of tags like I do, then this is a nice thing to do. Okay, so what I did was I got my Timmy ruler, which is an absolutely excellent tool. Those of you that just use it for measuring things, honestly, take another look at it. It is a brilliant tool. It's a centering ruler, which means it's got a note in the middle, and then you can center things up to see where you are. It's got a proper county ruler this way. It's got a steel rule in that side, so you can cut against it. And this side, it's got a chamfered edge, so you can put your pencil along there and you get a good line. The other thing it's got are these lines that go this way. So that's an inch. The one in the heavy marking is an inch. And then this bit here is 1/2 inch, and it's just very useful. So there you are. That's my Timmy trade talk for today. So I'm going to come down a goodly way, and I'm going to line up the edge of my tag with one of these lines that comes down. And then I'm going to come in 1/4 inch, and I can do that because all those measurements are on there, and draw a line along there to 1/4 inch on this side as well. What's wrong with me? And I'm just going to draw 2 lines that are fairly close together, keeping it straight by checking that it's straight there. So 1/4 inch in again to 1/4 inch there. So I've got 2 lines there. excellent. And I'm doing this in black. If I had a grey micron pen, I'd do it in grey, but I don't, so I'm using black. So now I'm going to do a similar thing. I'm going to line my bottom of my tag up with that line and come in 1/4 of an inch, draw a line up to about 1/4 of an inch from where that bottom one is. Then same thing. Then I'm going to leave a bigger gap, but still lining it up with the Timmy ruler. So that's, I don't know what that is, 1/2 inch or something. Come 1/4 of an inch in, but I'm not going to go all the way along this time. I'm going to stop there, and then 1/2 inch from the bottom. And all of that made possible, and I know that it's perfectly lined up because of my marvellous Timmy ruler. Right, so now we get to stamp. So let's see what I've got that's a bit different. Well, I could use these if I started with a completely blank thing, which I might do at some stage, but at the moment I'm still enjoying the one that I did. I think I'll use these ones, and I'm going to put on the top I'm going to put what? So many nice things to choose from. Could put destination. That's quite a good one, isn't it, to put? It's quite heavy, quite thick type. Here's Miss P trotting along to help. Come on, Miss P. And I'm going to use Stays On Stone Grey. Use any grey that you've got. I just think it looks slightly more authentic than the really jet black. So ordinarily I'd use my Versafine Nocturne, which is a really black, but this time I'm using Stays On in Stone Grey. So hopefully that's okay. I'm just going to put it fairly centrally, just above that top line. Oh, it's not that centrally, it's way over that side, but that doesn't matter. There we are. It's not even the perfect stamp, and even that doesn't matter to me because it's supposed to be old and worn. So that's that. And now I quite like this corresponding order one, which is very, so far we're just doing what we did the last time, but I liked it. This time it's on proper cards, so it should be okay. So using the grey again, I'm going to put that up and down over that line, like so. Seems to be relatively good for stamping on this card, I would say. Put that one away. And then we need to do the ones this way. So I used the one that said identification check, that one. And is that going to fit on there? Oh yes, perfectly. Perfectly. Ugh. That's the thing I really hate it with a passion about Stays On, that plastic cover that you get. It drives me bonkers. Somebody at some stage said to stick it to the inside of the lid. And that's a darn good idea actually, and I don't know why I haven't done it. Look at that identification check. And let's just see what I did on the other one. A number. a smallish number actually. I'll put this one on. It's quite long but little, not very tall. Oh, it's upside down. So I'll just put that on there. Lovely so far, liking it. Just try and keep my Miss P clean. Can't beat having a clean bottom, Miss P. Oh dear, that doesn't sound right, does it? Don't know why that doesn't want to stay there, but it doesn't. Okay, right, so next I have got a big number. I could use a 785 or I could use that. I'm going to use that, the slightly lesser sized one. Pop that there. Lovely. And on the bottom, I just want a signature. Now, I have one of these that just has loads of really nice signatures. Is that it? No, that's dates. It's this one. I think this might be a Kathy Holden one, this one actually. It's her sort of size. I've long since lost the lost the packaging for it. But I quite like this name, Whiteman, Mr. or Mrs. Whiteman. It's their signature. It looks kind of authentic. So I'll do that in grey as well. And put that along there. So it's like somebody's signed for it. There we go. Oh, it's looking nice. I'll stick that back in so I don't lose it. And then I've got three words down here. Good work, inspected and approved. And as found, actually. So the question is, which of those do I want to use? I like good work. It just appeals to me. But I've got another one here that says received main office. That's quite a big one. I might use that. See what happens with it. And I'm going to use the red archival, Carnation Red. This one is. I'm just going to stamp that out first because I don't think I've ever used this. Yeah, that's lovely. So let's just ink that up. And I think I'm just going to put it at a bit of an angle here. Like somebody's just stamped it, received. Yeah, look at that. It's really nice. I'm sure there must be probably 1,000 other videos of people doing this sort of thing. But I just did it. So to me, I've invented it. Okay, so let's make sure that's dry. Just give it a second. Oh, it's quite sturdy, that card. That's great. It's perfect tag weight. Right, I'd say that's dry. We're about to find out. I've just got myself a piece of scrap paper out, actually. An inky border, inky background, anything like that. I just don't want to get too much ink on here because it's still quite new. So I'm going to use, first off, frayed burlap. Where's my little mat to stop it moving round? There we go. And I'm going to use a brush. This is frayed burlap oxide. And I'm going to go around the edges to try and give it a bit of a worn look. So I'm coming in quite a way here into the centre. Oh, it's gone silent. It feels like I'm concentrating. So I'm just going to go over it all now, but I haven't really got any much ink on that. Lovely, that looks nice. And then I'm going to change it up and bring in Vintage Photo. Although that does look nice on its own, I must say. And I don't think this brush works very well, so I don't know how much Vintage Photo I'll get, but we'll see. So it's just to darken the edges really, which is a good job because it's not doing anything else. Yeah, it's just kind of darkening them. So I'm staying away from the centre with this, just doing the edges. There we go. And that's that. That's all I want to do to it, apart from the magic. So put that there, keep that. There's lots of mileage in that yet. I'll get myself a piece of blue shop cloth or towel or whatever, because we're going to wet this and then pick off. Let's just make sure you can see. So I'm just going to put down light little sprinkles from my demister, and because all the lines that I drew and stamped are waterproof, I'm able to do this without moving anything. Right, so there's quite a lot on there now, so I'm just going to give it a minute to work its inky magic. You can see it starting to work, but just let it go for a minute. Just be patient. It doesn't come easy to me, it just doesn't. But I just want to leave it. So, you know, you could do these in a sort of, as Tina at Shabby Dabby Doodah would say, mass making type thing, and have them all at different stages so you can just finish them off and do this. I think that's probably fine. So let's put our towel on and give it a good press down. Let's just see. Yeah, we had quite a bit of water on there, that's good. Some areas have missed it altogether. But, oh, look at that. Look at that. You can see that, can't you? All those little sort of blotchy bits where the water's bleached the ink out. Oh, fantastic. Right, and just as my final bit of thing, I just want to mark where the middle is. It's pencil. I'll use my thingy. Don't know where my pencil is. That's about there. So I'm just going to make a dot there, punch out a hole, a large hole. And then I have some die cuts of reinforcers. It's an Elizabeth Crafts design die. It's a whole page of reinforcers. So I've got that one, or I have this one. I should have put this on before I punched the hole out, because this one doesn't reach right to the top and this one reaches over the top. But that's okay, I can live with that. I'll just cut it off. So let's glue that in place. There's quite a lot of glue on there. Place it over the hole that you've just punched out. Like that. Press it down. And let's trim it off. And there we have it. There is my offering for you today. It's cute, isn't it? It's got to be said. It's definitely something you could, well, something I could use in my journal. This archival hasn't quite dried before we did that, and I can see it's just bleeding. So it's something to be aware of if you're using archival. It does take quite a while to dry there. Can you see it's bleeding? But that's it's okay. It's supposed to be a really old tag. So there we have it. That's it from me today. I hope you enjoyed it. It was just a little shorty. It's just something I was doing and I thought you might like to see. So take care. See you all again very soon. Bye for now. Bye.